Hey everyone, Steven here from Redolessence, and welcome back to another fragrance review. Thank you for watching, and today I'm going to let you know what I think about a fragrance by Diesel, and this one is called Fuel for Life. So this fragrance was released in 2007, and it was a collaboration between perfumers Annick Menardo and Jacques Cavaillet. Annick Menardo has done Au Masculin by Lolita Lempicka. She has done Bulgari Black, Bois d'Argent by Christian Dior, Body Kuros by Yves Saint Laurent, and many, many others. Jacques Cavaillet has done many fragrances for Bulgari. He has done Bulgari Aqua, Aqua Amara, so on and so forth. He's also done many for Zegna's private line, if not all of them. So they both have a pretty impressive track record and resume, if you will. Now, there are many different versions to this fragrance, so be cautious as a consumer. There is the Denim Collection, which is basically almost the same thing in terms of smell, some mild differences, and it's available in a blue bottle. They have the Summer, He Summer, they have the Spirit, or another one called Life. They have an unlimited version for women. So they have made many flankers of this fragrance. I may have gotten some of those wrong, but just be wary as a consumer. If you are looking to purchase this fragrance in the original, just make sure it says nothing more than Fuel for Life on it. Now, this is classified as an aromatic fougere because of its use of the note of lavender. But according to user votes online, lavender is the third most concentrated note. So I'm going to let you know what I think of this fragrance. Next up, let's take a look at the presentation. The box for Fuel for Life is very nice, very unique. You got the tag here in the front with the name of the fragrance and the name of the company, Concentration, faux string encompassing the entire perimeter of the box. Here basically a graphic that shows you that you can actually take out the pouch. And other than that, it's a pretty cool looking box. As far as the bottle goes, here's the stitched pouch that's on it. Same information in the front. They have a zipper on the side. You can actually unzip it and it exposes the embossed detail on the front of the bottle. Really cool, really well done. The cap here has actually only the Brave engraved into the cap. As many would know, that's a name of one of their other fragrances. And you also have an image of a punk rocker with a mohawk. I don't know if you can make that out. The cap does click into place. It looks like it's threaded, but it's really not. The sprayer is one of the best I've seen. It sprays out a lot of juice, and that has been the presentation for Fuel for Life by Diesel. So what does this fragrance smell like? Well, the top note is grapefruit. And when this fragrance opens up, you get a very tiny bit of a citrus, but I can say that it doesn't really smell like grapefruit. I've smelled Coach for Men. I own several samples of it, and that's a really nice grapefruit. This one, it smells more lemony to me. And of course, grapefruit is kind of tart and bitter and acidic. You don't really get that with this fragrance, which I guess is kind of a good thing. And then in the mid, you do have some redeeming qualities that start to come out. Now, I know this is classified as a fougere because it contains the note of lavender. I can tell you this one doesn't really have a strong lavender note. Some people say they pick up on it. I can definitely see what they're trying to pass off as lavender in this scent, but it doesn't really smell like a natural lavender. I grow lavender in my backyard, so I'm very familiar with the smell of it. But this does have raspberry and anise or aniseed. Now, I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine that you have two raspberries. One raspberry was just recently harvested, cut down the middle, you smell it, and it smells very sweet and fruity and rich, full-bodied, and robust. And now I want you to imagine that you have a second raspberry that was diced up into small pieces, it's been oxidized, and it's freeze-dried, and you're eating it, I don't know, 3 weeks later in a cereal or something like that. This fragrance reminds me of that second raspberry. It's a very processed raspberry, and it's not as natural and full-bodied and rich as I was expecting it to smell. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I still do think that it smells nice. It has the perfect amount of sweetness, and it doesn't allow the fragrance to become cloyingly sweet, which I think is great. And also, a lot of people might be worried about the aniseed note, you know? Aniseed has a smell very similar to that of licorice. So if you've tried licorice-based scents in the past, like Au Masculin by Lolita Lempicka, or even Black Vines by Kerosene, and you didn't like those fragrances, definitely still check this one out. You might still like this one. Now, one of the things that I wasn't really happy with is that it did say it contains a note of heliotrope. Heliotrope is a floral, but it actually has a smell very similar to almond, and almond is one of my favorite notes in fragrances. I think it's done really well in Confetto and Dulce Acqua by Profum Aroma. In this fragrance, it's barely noticeable. So what you're left with is basically raspberry, star anise, or not star anise, aniseed, and some woodsy notes in the background, which are kind of undecipherable and undiscernible from one another. But other than that, I think it's a nice scent. It has the right amount of sweetness. I think that it's more of a youthful scent, and I guess that's kind of what they were going for. It has no sophisticated qualities to it. It's just more of a youthful, playful, kind of like, you know, I'm just gonna have fun today kind of scent. You know, you just spray it on when you're, you know, either gonna hang out with your friends or you're gonna go do something casually. But other than that, I think it doesn't really have anything else going for it. Now, for the purposes that it serves, I think it's a great scent. So lastly, I would like to conclude by saying that yes, you will get compliments wearing this one. For some reason, the chicks really like this one. I have received a few compliments wearing this one. My fiance actually really likes this one too, so go figure. So last up, we have the rating. Thanks for watching. First up, we have uniqueness and overall smell. I ended up giving this fragrance a 6 out of 10. Now, I think it's a really nice scent. Again, I just wish it were a little bit more rich and robust and full-bodied. But other than that, I still think it's a really nice scent. For the purpose that it serves, it actually does really well. And it does actually smell different from other fragrances in my collection, except it's kind of non-complex. It's a rather simple fragrance, and it's rather linear as well. Next up, we have longevity. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It is eau de toilette concentration, but I do get about 8 hours on my skin. As far as projection goes, I also gave it a 6 out of 10. This one doesn't project too well. It does radiate within an arm's length, probably a little past your elbow for like the first hour, and then it starts to sit close to the skin. So if you're going to apply this, maybe double up on sprays or reapply throughout the day so you can keep that projection going. As far as versatility goes, I ended up giving this a 7 out of 10, took it up a notch. Now, I do think this is a unisex scent, you know? I think the sweetness would actually work really well on a woman as well. I think this is more for casually and night out. I wouldn't wear this formally or semi-formally. I think in terms of seasons, this would work best because of its lack of performance. It would work best in the hotter weather. Compositional nature kind of makes it sound like it would work well in the winter, but it doesn't. And I think this is more for a youthful person, perhaps someone in high school, early college. I think if you're, you know, pretty set in your career and established in what you're doing, you might want to reach for something a little bit more sophisticated, but again, just personal opinion. And then lastly, we have presentation. I think the presentation is kind of cool. Some might argue it's kitschy. I ended up giving it an 8 out of 10 for presentation. And overall, I'm going to give Fuel for Life by Diesel a 7 out of 10. I think this is a good scent. I think if you're looking for something youthful, something just for fun that you can wear around casually, this is a really nice scent. If you want something that's a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated, is going to make stronger of an impression, I would look elsewhere than this one. So if you fit within that demographic, if you will, check this one out. In other situations, you can check out other fragrances, look a little bit further in your searches. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. That was my review of Fuel for Life by Diesel. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe for future videos and frequent giveaways. So again, thank you so much for watching. This has been Steven with another fragrance review from Redolessence. I'll see you guys soon.